If you have fat thumbs, how to enter hotspot information on this radio without touching the front panel. So I'm super pleased to have come across K9WLW Radio YouTube channel to help me with putting my hotspot information back into the radio. The things you need to find out are your hotspot's frequency information and your locations, longitude and latitude. The reason you need the longitude and latitude is that on this radio the GPS picks up or tracks your movement, and then you're back at your home QTH, and you next turn the radio on and you can use the repeater function to find nearby repeaters. And if you have your longitude and latitude in there, your QTH will be right at the beginning of the list for the nearby repeaters. So once again, we're going to look over to this video here. I'm super pleased to have come across this, so thank you very much, Francis, K9WLW. It was explained so clearly. If you want to do this same process as Francis explains in the YouTube, which is just absolutely perfect, but you don't want to do it in the radio itself, you can do it on a CSV spreadsheet. So once again, the things we need to find out are the hotspot frequency information and your QTH details, and then we'll dive into downloading the up-to-date repeater database, if you like, from tyransfer, and we'll just add the one entry for your hotspot. So that's the example. The example is given on an Icom ID-51 A for America +2. It should work across all ID-51 radios. Okay, so let's go. How do we find the hotspot frequency? In my case, I'm running an open spot, and you'd pull up through a web browser. You just type in open spot, log in, and then right here on the front page it shows you the frequency that you're using, and there's no offset and no CTCSS tone in my situation. Okay, to get the spreadsheet we go to dstarinfo.com, downloads, and for DR mode radios. Now here, this is where we're going to get the longitude and latitude, as well as the database if you don't already have it. Okay, so I live in Woodstock, Ontario, Woodstock, ON, and hopefully that will pull back Woodstock, Ontario. Yeah, there we are. So in this example we're looking for the longitude and latitude there, and we're only interested in the first two digits after the decimal point, so 43.13 on the latitude, and here minus 80.75. Sometimes you see that referred to as minus 80.75, and sometimes you see it referred to as west, because it's west of Greenwich in London, England. In this format it's obviously minus 80 degrees from Greenwich in London, England. And my hotspot information was 439.1875. Obviously make sure that the frequency that you use for your hotspot is valid for the region that you live in. you've probably done that already. So this information from K9WLW Radio, I'm going to put in the text below. Hopefully you can link directly to it, but if not, you can search this channel, K9WLW Radio, and then in the videos you can search this text. I'm going to grab now the CSV file for the repeaters for my particular radio. So it's an ID-51 Plus2, this one here, and there it is. So let's open that up. I have to say I'm not really impressed that they've dropped the FM repeaters in the main. Here we can see, if we scroll up and down, the group number 4, which I guess is kind of the equivalent of memory banks. They're all DV, every last one of them. Okay, and then further down the page there's some FM repeaters. So again, I'm just going to whiz down the page and look for the 4s, and there they are. So this little area here, up to here, are FM repeaters. There's approximately 5 repeaters in my immediate vicinity that aren't listed here. So it's not a full list. You can manually enter them. If you want to see how to do that, look at my other YouTube. Let's follow the example given in Francis's YouTube, and we're going to add an entry here that mirrors what Francis has done. So before I do anything, I'm going to insert a row here. In fact, to make it easier to follow, I'm going to insert a few rows and then delete them afterwards. Okay, so in Francis's example, he used the group number 30 for his open spots, and the group name he had was Hotspots. I'm going to put home in. So when you look on your screen and you do the search for nearby repeaters, it will show home. It doesn't need a subname, it does need your call sign. And the gateway, and this is quite important, the gateway needs to have 8 characters and the last character is G. Francis explains on the keyboard on the actual front panel of the radio, you tab to the right as far as it goes, and I think he says that it times out. You don't have that feature here. But let's take a just over here, just for the fun of it. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in there. Okay, so as we type this out, my call sign is VA3SII. V. That looks horrible, doesn't it? There we go. VA3SII. We leave a space and then we put G for gateway. Now some call signs are different. For example, you might only have a 2-letter call. Now you have to put 2 spaces in to make sure the G is there. So you get the gist. The radio is going to be sending the call sign information, and it expects the last character, the character number 8, to be G for gateway. So however you manage it, that's what you got to do, but keep in your head it's the 8th character. Okay, so in my case it's VA3SII, 1 space and a G. The frequency we determined, what was that, 4391875. Now it's very important here that you have a duplex in here. The reason being is if it doesn't see a duplex plus or minus, it doesn't determine it as a repeater, and it has to be like a DV repeater for the radio to be able to select things like the gateway and stuff. So we do this. We fool the radio by saying it's a 0 megahertz offset. So in fact we're actually using or transmitting, receiving simplex to our hotspot, but the radio thinks it's a repeater. Mode is DV, and the rest in my case is just copy this stuff up. CTCSS is off, so it doesn't really matter what's there. And our longitude and latitude, remember, we also researched those. Longitude minus 80. You can see it's about right because of the detail below, so you know which one goes in which box. UTC offset is -5, so I'm just going to copy this one up. We're -5 from New York across to Toronto, Eastern time zone. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you need to do for this spreadsheet. You delete out the rows that you don't want. And you save it. The next stages are that you copy this to your SD card somehow, and then put the SD card into the radio, and then inside the radio you import it from the SD card menu. So that would be menu, SD card, import, and then repeaters. There's a few more yeses. But that's basically the process. This exact spreadsheet stays on that SD card. What happens is the radio extracts it or unzips it, if you like, from the SD card and puts it into the radio's memory itself. So this will still be here for next time. The reason I'm telling you this is if you add repeaters yourself, make sure you put them at the bottom of the list here, or you create another group number for them, because in the future you can download another up-to-date repeater listing from the D-Star info site and then copy and paste your existing repeaters from your old spreadsheet into the new one, and the details will, and this spreadsheet will remain on the SD cards for you to have access to, so you can basically grab hold of your old info from this spreadsheet in the future. Once you've performed the import process into the Icom radio, it will then show you on the screen that you need to reboot the radio. So basically just turn it off, turn it on again, and away you go.
So this video, if you like it, our video, comment down below a thumbs up.
Thanks for watching VA3SII. Bye.